Have your joints been feeling stiffer lately? Do your knees complain when you stand, or your hips ache after sitting for a while? While some aches and pains are expected with age, there's a difference between natural wear and dangerous decline. Unfortunately, many signs of bone and joint aging are overlooked until they cause real damage. After 60, our bodies begin to lose bone density and cartilage faster than they can rebuild it. According to the National Institute on Aging, bone mass can drop by as much as 20% after menopause, and joint fluid decreases, making movement feel stiff and painful. But the good news? These changes are not only manageable, many are reversible. Let me introduce you to Mr. Raymond, a 71-year-old retired postman from Arizona. For years, he believed his joint pain was just part of getting old. But a chance conversation with a physical therapist changed his outlook, and today, he moves more freely than he has in a decade. In this video, we'll reveal 7 often ignored secrets about bone and joint aging, the warning signs to watch for, and how to prevent or even reverse these issues with simple, science-backed strategies. If you're over 60 and want to stay active, independent, and pain-free, hit that like button, subscribe, and comment "strong joints" below. Let's begin with the first hidden sign of joint decline that too many seniors miss. Secret No. 1. Morning stiffness that lasts more than 30 minutes. Mr. Raymond used to laugh off the stiffness he felt each morning. "Takes me a pot of coffee just to get moving," he'd joke. But over time, that stiffness stretched longer, 15 minutes, then 30. Soon, he was planning his mornings around how long it took his joints to warm up. While some stiffness is normal with age, morning stiffness that lasts longer than 30 minutes can be a sign of early osteoarthritis or inflammatory joint conditions like rheumatoid arthritis. According to the Arthritis Foundation, persistent stiffness is often the result of joint cartilage wearing down and inflammation building up overnight, especially in weight-bearing joints like the knees, hips, and lower back. In a 2021 study published in The Lancet Rheumatology, researchers found that seniors with prolonged morning stiffness were more likely to experience functional decline and increased risk of mobility loss within 5 years. The good news? Early intervention with low-impact movement, joint-friendly nutrition, and posture alignment can slow or even reverse the trend. Mr. Raymond's turning point came after his therapist introduced him to a 10-minute morning stretching routine. Gentle hip openers, ankle rolls, and shoulder circles. He also began taking a daily omega-3 supplement and added more anti-inflammatory foods like turmeric, leafy greens, and berries to his diet. Within weeks, the stiffness began to fade. "Now I start my day with a walk, not a wince," he smiles. If your mornings are getting longer because of stiffness, don't brush it off. Your body may be whispering that it needs support before it starts shouting with pain. Secret number 2. Unexplained muscle weakness around the joints. Mr. Raymond first noticed it while mowing the lawn. The push seemed heavier, the turns more awkward. At first, he thought he was just tired or out of shape. But the weakness lingered, especially in his thighs and shoulders, and it began affecting simple tasks like lifting a gallon of milk or getting out of his car. Muscle weakness around the joints is one of the earliest and most overlooked signs of joint instability and accelerated bone loss. As bone density decreases and as cartilage wears down, the body relies more heavily on the surrounding muscles for support. If those muscles weaken, it leads to a vicious cycle. Joints lose support, posture suffers, and pain increases. According to a study published in the Journals of Gerontology, age-related muscle loss, sarcopenia, not only reduces strength, but also increases the risk of joint injuries, arthritis progression, and even falls. What's worse, many older adults dismiss the signs as normal fatigue, missing the window for early intervention. After consulting a physical therapist, Mr. Raymond began a simple strength routine focused on stabilizing muscles, resistance band exercises, wall sits, and chair squats. These targeted movements helped restore his joint alignment and reduce the strain on bones and tendons. He also increased his protein intake, aiming for at least 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day, as recommended by the International Osteoporosis Foundation for older adults. Within 2 months, not only did he feel stronger, he stood taller and moved more confidently. If your limbs feel weaker than they used to, especially around the hips, shoulders, or knees, it's time to pay attention. Strengthening those support muscles could be the key to protecting your joints for years to come. Secret number 3. Swollen, stiff, or bent fingers. One morning, Mr. Raymond noticed his wedding ring felt tighter than usual. He assumed it was just water retention, but over the next few days, his fingers began to ache and swell, especially around the middle knuckles. The joints looked puffy and slightly misaligned, making it harder to grip the newspaper or twist open a jar. These changes may seem minor, but swelling, stiffness, or visible deformities in the fingers are often early signs of joint degeneration, such as osteoarthritis or even rheumatoid arthritis. According to the American College of Rheumatology, over 40% of people over age 60 will develop osteoarthritis in their hands, which can progress rapidly if not managed. Joint changes in the fingers often reflect deeper issues happening throughout the body, like chronic inflammation, bone erosion, or cartilage loss. And because hands are used so frequently, even small issues can severely impact daily function and independence. Mr. Raymond's doctor recommended hand-specific exercises such as squeezing a soft therapy ball, finger lifts, and gentle stretches. He also began using a warm paraffin wax bath for 5 minutes each evening to soothe inflammation and improve circulation. With these changes, the swelling reduced, and he regained much of his grip strength. If your fingers are swollen, aching, or beginning to bend out of shape, don't chalk it up to just aging. These signs may be your body's early alert, and the sooner you act, the more control you can regain. Secret number 4. Losing height or developing a stooped posture. Mr. Raymond's granddaughter was the first to notice. "Grandpa, you look shorter than last year," she said, half joking as they posed for a family photo. At first, he laughed it off, but later, when looking at the picture, he realized his shoulders had slumped and his spine seemed curved forward. Loss of height, especially more than an inch or two, and a forward-hunched posture are classic signs of vertebral compression fractures or osteoporosis-related spinal weakening. According to the National Osteoporosis Foundation, about 1 in 2 women and 1 in 4 men over 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis, with spinal fractures being among the most common and most underdiagnosed. What makes this especially dangerous is that spinal fractures often occur silently. There may be no sharp pain or fall. Instead, tiny cracks in the vertebrae cause the spine to compress and collapse gradually, leading to stooped posture, chronic back pain, and eventually, balance problems and falls. Mr. Raymond visited his doctor, who ordered a bone density scan, DEXA. The results revealed early-stage osteoporosis. Fortunately, he began treatment early. Weight-bearing exercises like walking and light strength training, calcium and vitamin D supplementation, and posture-focused yoga sessions. Within months, he regained core strength, improved his posture, and even stabilized his height. If your clothes are fitting differently in the shoulders, if your back feels more curved, or if you notice you've shrunk, don't ignore it. Ask your doctor for a bone density test, because when it comes to your spine, catching bone loss early can prevent irreversible damage and preserve your independence. Secret number 5. Nighttime joint aches that disrupt. It started as a dull ache in Mr. Raymond's knees. At first, it didn't bother him during the day, but at night, it was a different story. Lying down made it worse. The pressure on his hips and knees seemed to intensify, waking him up several times each night. He'd assumed it was just aging or a bad mattress, but the real cause ran deeper. Chronic joint pain that worsens at night is often an early sign of cartilage deterioration, synovial fluid loss, or systemic inflammation. As we lie still, blood flow changes, and joints that are inflamed or worn down may become more sensitive. According to a study in Arthritis Care and Research, over 60% of adults over 60 who reported nighttime joint pain were later diagnosed with moderate to advanced osteoarthritis or inflammatory joint conditions. For older adults, disturbed sleep due to joint pain doesn't just affect rest, it accelerates physical decline. Sleep is when the body regenerates tissue and balances inflammation. Without it, joint healing slows and cortisol levels rise, worsening the problem. Mr. Raymond's doctor adjusted his routine. He started taking a warm bath before bed to soothe the joints, added a wedge pillow under his knees to reduce pressure, and was prescribed a mild anti-inflammatory cream. He also improved his evening meals, opting for magnesium-rich foods like bananas and leafy greens to promote muscle relaxation. The result? Within weeks, his pain eased, and he was sleeping through the night again, waking up with less soreness and more energy. If your joints seem louder at night, or you're waking up stiff and exhausted, don't just assume it's age. It might be your body's signal that your joints need more support, and your sleep hygiene needs a boost. Secret number 6. Frequent cramping or muscle spasms. Mr. Raymond had always assumed that muscle cramps were a normal part of getting older. They'd strike suddenly, often in the middle of the night. Clenching his calves or feet so tightly, he'd have to get out of bed and walk it off. He tried drinking more water and stretching, but the cramps kept coming. While dehydration and electrolyte imbalance can play a role, frequent cramps or spasms, especially in the legs, can also signal deeper problems with calcium metabolism, magnesium deficiency, or early-stage bone demineralization. According to the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research, muscle cramps in older adults are sometimes linked to hypocalcemia, low blood calcium levels, a sign that bones may be leaching calcium due to osteoporosis or parathyroid dysfunction. In addition, muscle spasms can occur when the body tries to compensate for weakened structural support from the joints or spine, placing additional strain on surrounding soft tissue. Mr. Raymond's doctor ran blood tests and found that while his hydration was fine, his magnesium and vitamin D levels were low, both critical for proper calcium absorption and muscle relaxation. He was prescribed a supplement regimen and guided toward foods rich in bone-friendly nutrients: almonds, leafy greens, legumes, and fatty fish. With those changes, and a gentle evening stretch routine, the cramps subsided. He now sleeps through the night, free from the sudden stabbing pains that used to disrupt his rest. If you're experiencing recurring cramps or spasms, especially alongside other joint symptoms, it might be time to look deeper. Your bones and minerals could be out of balance, and the sooner you catch it, the sooner you can restore both comfort and strength. Secret number 7. Avoiding movement out of fear of pain. After experiencing joint pain and stiffness, Mr. Raymond found himself hesitating to move. He avoided long walks, skipped steps at the grocery store, and began saying no to outings. "I thought resting would help me heal," he admitted. But instead, the less he moved, the more discomfort he felt. This is one of the most common and dangerous misconceptions about aging joints, that rest is the best remedy. In reality, avoiding movement accelerates muscle wasting, joint stiffness, poor circulation, and balance decline. According to a 2020 meta-analysis in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, sedentary lifestyles in adults over 60 significantly increase the risk of frailty, falls, and joint dysfunction, all within as little as 6 weeks of inactivity. Movement, when done gently and intentionally, lubricates the joints, strengthens surrounding muscles, and enhances nutrient delivery to cartilage and bone. It also reduces systemic inflammation and improves mood and cognitive clarity, all of which contribute to healthy aging. Mr. Raymond's physical therapist recommended a daily low-impact movement routine, short walks after meals, stretching every morning, and light resistance exercises twice a week. Not only did the pain reduce, his confidence soared. He even joined a community Tai Chi group, finding that movement with others brought both physical and emotional healing. If you've been avoiding activity due to discomfort or fear of injury, consider this your invitation to start moving, slowly, safely, and with support. You don't need to run a marathon. Just a few minutes of mindful motion each day can begin to reverse years of stagnation. Conclusion. Mr. Raymond's journey is proof that aging joints aren't the end of strength, independence, or movement. They're the beginning of a new kind of awareness. From morning stiffness to nighttime aches, each sign was his body's way of asking for more care, more movement, and more nourishment. The real secret to joint health after 60? Listening closely and taking action early. Science shows that age-related bone and joint issues are not just treatable. Many are preventable or reversible with simple daily habits. From stretching and walking to eating nutrient-rich foods and staying socially and physically active, you have more control over your musculoskeletal health than you may think. If this video opened your eyes to something you've been ignoring, comment "Healthy joints start today" below. And if it reminded you of someone you care about, share it with them. Because we all deserve to age with strength, clarity, and confidence. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our community for more uplifting health stories and science-backed strategies. Here's to moving well for life.